And you welcome back here on Prime Morning. This is News Flash here. We'll talk about the front pages of the newspapers, what has been reported, and then we're getting to very major conversations, and we're doing exactly that today. I'll be introducing my guest to you in a couple of minutes, but let me say a very big thank you to all our sponsors who helped us achieve all the things that we needed to achieve to put smiles on the faces of our couples on our Vows Day promotion, and it was massive. We loved it. We appreciate you, and we say God bless you. And it goes out to Labadi Beach Hotel. They provided a weekend stay for our couples, and it's the best place you always want to be if you're looking for a place that you can have a very good time with your family over the weekend. If you decide that you want to go and spend some time there, this is the place you want to be. Labadi Beach Hotel is in the heart of Accra, and it's the place that will rejuvenate you, will relax you, and will put you in a shape that you can always be ready for a Monday. And so please do well and go there and enjoy with the family. Red Apple Looks providing some grooming services as well, and it's the place you want to go with your partner if you want to do some, hair. You want to make sure you do some spa treatment in terms of massage and all of that. I mean, once you go there, they're going to take very good care of you, and they've been very, very good with us when it comes to grooming of our couples for the Vows Day promotion. You can also go there and enjoy. They're on social media, Red Apple Looks. That's where you can find them on IG, and you also can go and get that treatment for yourself. Tasty Tom Tomato Pasta is making it possible. It's all you need when it comes to cooking good food, and this is what we talk about. Value for money is very, very important. You know that there's no money in the country right now, so if you're spending, you want to make sure the return on investment is really, really something that you can look at and say, indeed, this is what I want. And it couldn't get better, when it comes to the kitchen. So we are giving you the very best on the market, and we want to make sure that you go ahead and patronize it. It's Tasty Tom. It's small, and then it becomes plenty. All you need is just like a crabby, and you're good to go. That's what we're talking about. We'd like to say a big thank you to them as well. Inshira Photo Frame also did some magic with us, capturing all those moments. We appreciate you, and thanks so much for making it possible for us to get all those beautiful pictures that we had. All right, so that's what it is. And well, next year we're going to be coming back again, and I'm sure these brands will be with us again, and so we're grateful. Now, Friday, tomorrow at 8 p.m., we're coming back again. On a more serious note, make sure you tune in here on Joy Prime. Myself and my partners in fan, we're going to be here to entertain you. We've got so much to talk about. The reshuffle, man. Yeah, we've got so much to talk about. But we're going to be just making fun, just on the lighter side on most of these issues that have come up here. You don't want to miss what is going to happen tomorrow. The reactions and everything that has come up, we're going to be talking about all of them here tomorrow at 8 p.m. Don't miss out on that. Big Chef has also begun, and so if you're not watching, I want you to watch every Sunday at 5 p.m. Our young kids out there are very, very skilled, and they're ready to give you all the recipes that you need, and so please do well to watch them and enjoy all those beautiful moments that they'll be spending with you. Pizza Man Chicken Man is also what you need to make sure that you get yourself going, and we're telling you that we've got deals for you in Accra and Kumasi, our branches. All you need to do is to just come through and let us know what you want, and we'll give it to you. I mean, food is very, very important, but you have to be very sure of where you are eating, and that's what we give you. Quality customer service is on point, and all that you need is to just come through with a family, and we're going to be there to serve you. All right, Pizza Man Chicken Man, it's always flaming hot. Now let's get into the front page. And yesterday the bombshell was released, and as to why it did on a Valentine's Day, we're not too sure about it, but we're going to get there. The President, His Excellency Akuffo Addo, has reshuffled his ministry, and well, some have been asked to go, like Rosemary will put it, retirement. Some have also gone, but still, lurking around. Others, we don't know what is going to be for them after here. But we're going to get into it. Now, let's start off with the Daily Guide this morning on the front page. It says that new ministers face high expectations. 18 out. Page 20 has got a story over there. And Ken of Riata is out. Kwajiman Menu is also out. And some new faces have come in. Mohammed Amin Kojo Pong and Kruma has been moved to Works and Housing. Lydia Sairam Al-Hassan is also in, and Bernardo Okoboy is also in. Fatimatu Atu Abubakar has been elevated to Information Minister, and that's on the front page of the Daily Graphic this morning. We're going to be getting into all of that. The Ghanaian Times this year, and pretty much also sums up what has been put on the front page of Daily Graphic, and it says that President fires 23 ministers in a major shake-up, and 13 ministers, 10 deputies go home, 8 new ministers, 11 deputies, 6 ministers of state appointed for that matter. And that's the Ghanaian Times this morning. Ghana marks 20 years of HIV antiretroviral treatment, and Dr. Baumia responsible for current economic hardships, also captured on the front page of the Ghanaian Times. Now, let's check out the Daily Guide and what is also reporting on. It says Nana flies out after Val's Day reshuffle. NPP commends Akuffo Addo for ministerial shake-up. Well, the president flies out after the reshuffle. Interesting. Land Ministry details Baumia's small-scale mining policy. And Abesim killer trial begins March 14. That's also the front page of the Daily Guide this morning. It's got some faces of the new ministers that have been put into office over there. Ex-president launches J.A. Kufuor Cap, and Aliyu Muhammad Stadium closed down for maintenance. And Tottenham's son injures finger, and fan banned for Salah abuse, as Daily Guide reports of this morning. Daily Statesman is here. It says massive shake-up in government of Riata Amwakwata Danbuchi. Ajman Menu dropped Okuboy, Titus Glover, and Lydia Alassane brought in. And 40% of Ghana's population under 15 years. And that's also the Daily Statement. Hundreds protest against GFA. NPP spells out task for new appointees. And that's the Daily Statement today, reporting on these issues. Now, let's go and check out what the New Finder is also reporting on. The New Finder this morning says that the big shake-up, and Ghana spent $3 million at AFCON 2023, says Minister. Reshuffle has come too late, minority says so. Hundreds of soccer enthusiasts demonstrate to demand reforms in Ghana football. That's the New Finder also reporting on that issue. So at a time when the sports journalists were very busy, in fact, doing everything they can to get the attention of the president and the sports ministry and all that, the president was also very busy, doing reshuffling. And so Val's Day yesterday came with a lot, but I don't know what happened in your love life, whether that proposal went wrong or whatever it is, but of course, it can only get better with time, so keep it going. Now, you can send your messages to us here on the show ahead of time. What's your opinion about the reshuffle? Do you think that it's too little, too late? Do you think that those who are coming in can make any difference? Do you think that it's just a waste of time and we could have just let it be the way it is so we can just go to the elections 2024 and make a decision for ourselves? Or you think that this is something that was needed and would give us the needed, results we need in our economy? You can send your messages to us on our WhatsApp line. It's active this morning, and also we're streaming live on Facebook, and you can send your messages over there in real time and let us know what you think about the president's reshuffle of his ministers. Now, in the studio with me this morning, as always, it's a Thursday, and lawyer Kwame Jantua is here with us. Esquire always joins us here on the show, and he's a family to this family. He's a senior member of the CPP. And lawyer, good morning to you. I hope you're good.
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm sure you'll be excited to see this reshuffle by His Excellency the President, because you've been calling for it, especially Kenneth Riata.
Have we started the program? Or you just want my comment?
Be sure remarks on that.
I don't know.
Okay, leave it there. No,
it's
leave it there. I don't know.
it's a bit too late so far as I'm concerned. Yeah, it could have been done earlier. But there's a lot of sideline things that we haven't really looked into. Why is the president doing it at this particular moment in time? Then remember, the president has a symbiotic relationship with Kenneth Riata. Symbiotic and blood relationship with Kenneth Riata. He would not leave him, he would not let him go. Watch it. Watch it. And let me tell you something. The president is a political animal. His party comes first before country. Comes first before country. I'll give you an example. The district elections.
Yeah.
When people called for the elections of district executives, what did he do? What did he do? Did he not stop it?
Yes.
It wasn't for his party's sake. It wasn't favoring his party, so he stopped it.
But that's always been the case.
It's the case that what?
That he's more interested in the party than the
Should it be? Once you become a president, your country comes first. And remember, the people are part of governance. The fact that you be made a president doesn't mean the people are left aside. The people are part of governance. And if the people cry out and tell you, we don't want this, you've got to listen. Naming of institutions. Did he name anybody outside his UP tradition? Tell me, who did he name?
Yeah.
All in his tradition.
Yeah.
He's a political animal. As far as he's concerned, party comes first.
Okay. Well, we're going to see the way forward in terms of those new ministers that have come through and what they can achieve in the next 10 months that will go for elections. A. Metal Nunu Jr. is here with us. He's from the NDC communications team, national communications team, joining us this morning. He's also a family to this family over here. Metal, good to see you, my brother.
Yeah, good to see you too, KMJ. Good morning to your very good self. I can see that with your wine or red, you really enjoy the Valentine.
I had to talk about condoms. I was wondering what he was using them for.
No, any man needs a condom.
Oh, really?
Every man?
Every man.
I'm sure every man needs a condom.
Oh, okay. Even
Including Esquire.
Even the
And
popes.
how many men have it?
Even the popes.
Every man needs a condom.
Oh, okay.
You never can tell.
Never can tell.
Yeah.
And the opportunity will land.
Exactly.
We're talking about the condoms issue. I guess you remember the post I saw on social media about a condom relating it to this reshuffle.
Oh, is it?
Huh?
Yeah, and the person was like, what shall it profit you to have 7 rounds of raw sex and on the 8th round you wear a condom? You've already gotten the STI. For 7 years, no ministerial reshuffle. And the 8th year, you do a
come on.
ministerial reshuffle. All the STIs, the economic mess, everything
Has been done.
has already been done.
been
What
done.
shall it profit you to do that?
Oh,
Talking about the condoms, I guess remembered that post. And it perfectly describes the reshuffle. We'll go into details when the show.
Yeah. So, for the purposes of our viewers, let's see what we can run through quick, especially the major ones that we're all looking for. We're to seeing a change over there. These are those who are exiting office. The Finance Ministry had Akuffo Addo. He's been asked to, Rosalind says, retired. Honorable Ambrose Terry, the Interior Ministry, is also gone. Health Ministry, Kwaku Addo Menu is also gone. Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation, Dr. Kwaku is also gone. Information Minister, Honorable Kojo Opong Nkrumah is also gone. Roads and Highways, Kwesi Amoakwata is also not there. And Works and Housing, Francis Asenso Boache is also relieved of that position. Gender Ministry, Lariba, Honorable Lariba is also not there anymore. Local government decentralization, the rural development, Damboche is also not there. Now, the reports we're gathering is that Damboche may be leading the campaign for the NPP going into the elections 2024. So he'll be the campaign manager. That's the reports that we're getting, but hopefully we'll be able to get some clarity on that and they will let you know. Sanitation and water resources, Honorable Frida Prempe is also gone. Tourism, Arts and Culture, Ibrahim Mohammed Awal is also not in position again. Good Accra Regional Minister, Honorable Henry Korte is also gone. Oti Region, we have Joseph Makubu is also gone. And now the deputies, we have Information Minister Ms. Fatima Abubakar. Local government, we have Collins Intima Boaje, also not there. Communications and Digitalization, Amapoma Boating Health. You have Tina Mensa over there, Mohammed Saini also over there as well. Works and Housing, Abdullah Banga. Lands and Natural Resources also had Benito Owusu Bio. And Fisheries and Agriculture, Honorable Moses Enim. Energy Minister Ministry had William Akuffo Addo and also Andrew Ajapat Mensah. Education Ministry, Honorable Gifty Chum Ampofo. And Employment and Labour Relations, Honorable Bright Brobe. So these are people who have been relieved of the oppositions. Now, in health, you now have Honorable Dr. Bernard Okoboy taking over the health ministry. Environment and Science and Technology, you have Ophelia Mensah for doing so. Gender Ministry, you have Honorable Dakua Newman. And Local Government Decentralization and Rural Development, you have Honorable Martin J. Mensah Kosa. Sanitation and Water Resources, Lydia Sayoma Latson has been put
These
over.
are those who are
taken over, exactly.
Taken over.
Yeah. Tourism, we have Andrew Ajapat Mensah actually taking over that from Honorable Mohammed Awal. And Greater Accra region, you have Titus Glover taking over Henry Korte. Oti region, we have Daniel taking over Makabu as well. So the deputies, you have Information Ministry, you have Sylvester Tete, and all of that following. But our major concern, which of course everybody was hoping to see, especially after all the rants and pressure on the government, the President, His Excellency Nana Akuffo Addo, to ensure that that decision was made, has finally been made. But the question we're asking is that all? What happens after here? The new minister who is taking over, what is he bringing to the table? Has he got the capacity to make the changes that we want to see in our economy? And people are asking questions and all of that. And especially also the fact that we're supposed to have had a decrease in the ministerial appointment like we've always been asking for. Now the president still sticks to it, and no drastic difference has been made in terms of the number of people that are forming his ministers. So we're going to be looking at this. You can send your messages to us. Let us know which ministry that you've seen a change that you are not happy about. The ones you're happy about, let us know about it. If you're happy about it, what do you think in the next 10 months the difference will be? You can also send that to us and let us know as well. So, yeah. Esquire, Finance Minister is out.
Yes.
We also had issues about how the NPP, felt certain informations were sent out there in terms of what they have been doing, in terms of what the party has been able to contribute to the country, and it was made to believe that they are not doing well in terms of putting information out there. The Information Ministry has also seen a change. Now, Gabi actually even said that the NPP, before deciding to leave active politics, said that the NPP has done a lot, and he's saddened that the things they've done have not been able to, be sent out there the way they expect to be sent, because maybe the ministry is not doing their
Whose
best.
responsibility is it? I mean, who do they blame? Are they blaming the people? They should be blaming their own communicators. You've done work. I don't know, you've done work.
Yeah.
You're supposed to communicate to me. So, for me...
Or was it a case of nothing has been done, so we don't have anything to communicate?
Please. There is no government that comes into power who will do nothing. There's no government. But they should have done more. They could have done more with the resources that were available to them. That's the issue so far as I'm concerned. There's a lot of things that they've started that they haven't been able to complete. There are a lot of promises they gave that they have not been able to make it happen. One typical example is one village, one dam. Where is it today? One constituency, $1 million.
Yeah.
Where is it today? They brought in ambulances, didn't they? That is good. It's helped the health sector. However, on the other side, they've mortgaged a lot of things. Get fund is mortgaged, isn't it? Stabilization fund where we had money in, where is it today? So there are quite a lot of things that they could have done better, which they haven't done better. And that is where the crux of the matter is. And maybe because of that, they haven't been able to communicate the way they should be able to communicate. The polyclinic in La, where is it today? The trade fair, where is it today?
We don't know what's going on
They're
there.
quite, exactly. And see, that is the thing, the kind of communication that people need to know. You need to tell them, well, this is where we are, this is what is happening. They don't communicate. And so it becomes difficult. And at this last moment, where the president has checked out, where the president is a lame duck. You're coming to tell us you've done what? Reshuffle? This reshuffle is towards elections.
How does it play a
It's
role?
not towards the country, it's towards elections. Look, the election is on a knife edge. Everybody has to be alert to make sure that this one, we need to break the 8. So let me bring fresh blood in. Let it seem that we've changed and we're bringing fresh blood in. But let me tell you, the finance minister today, the new finance minister, what really can he do in 10 months? Can he overturn certain things that Ken Ofori-Atta did?
He's got 10
that
months.
He's not in agreement with? 10 months. You think he can do a lot in 10? How long does it take a new minister to get his act together when he gets into office? How long does it take? It takes quite some time.
Yeah.
It takes quite some time. So for me, it is more to do with the elections than to do with country. The president has already told us that the new president who would come would help solve the problems of the country. This is to do with, we've got to win, so let's bring new people in. Let it be seen that we have answered the prayers of the people. We have done a reshuffle, and Ken Ofori-Atta has been axed, but Ken Ofori-Atta cannot be axed. He cannot be axed where the president is concerned. The man has sacrificed for President Addo. He's sacrificed for him in terms of getting him to where he is. There's no way he's going to let him go.
So it's
because
over
I'm not sure whether this is true, but I got somebody.
His advisory position.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, the former finance minister Ken Ofori-Atta is to be appointed as the senior presidential advisor on the economy.
Yeah.
He will also serve as the president's special envoy on international investment and capital markets, according to Asase news sources in the office of the president. Now, if this is what he's going to do, would he have power over the finance minister?
Yeah.
Will he have power over the finance minister?
Yeah.
He's the president's financial, if it is true, the president's financial advisor on the economy.
He's still in the same thing.
What will Amin do?
Yeah.
What will my good friend Amin do? Huh? I mean, can he stand against Ken Ofori-Atta, especially when he's worked with him? Amin is capable. No two ways about it. He's capable. But if he wants to bring changes to stuff that Ken Ofori-Atta has done in the ministry, will he have the power to do so? He would have to answer to the president. When the president was relieving Ken Ofori-Atta, what did he say about him? What did he say about him? He is not the one who has caused the economic downfall we see in the country. Did he say that? What was the reason for saying that?
He fulfilled one promise, which was that he's going to relieve him after the IMF deal.
Look, they have taken us to IMF. When they came in 2017, IMF, they didn't say they would take us to IMF. They were actually in IMF. And what should have happened was they should have told us, IMF, never again. They've taken us back to IMF. And the fact that they've taken us back to IMF shows that they failed, unfortunately. Unfortunately. Now, when you look at some of the positions that, they have sent some to, I asked myself the question, Opong Nkrumah, a good friend of Opong Nkrumah, there's no way the president would relieve him. There's no way he would relieve him. He's a potential for the future.
Presidential candidate?
Yeah, whatever it is, he's a potential for the future. So I asked myself, in the natural resource, is it natural? No, labor, where has he gone to? He's gone to works and housing.
Yeah.
What is it that is there? That, what's his name? Kojo Opong Nkrumah can change. What is he going to change there? He needs to keep people like Opong Nkrumah in the limelight. He needs to. Because that labor place, it's not an easy place. What can he do in 10 months? What? Because look, because of the way the election is going, a lot of them are going to go out to campaign heavily. The campaign comes before actual work. You cannot tell me, as we lead into the election, they are going to be doing government work. They are going to be out there campaigning, all of them. So when do they find the time to make sure that their legs are under the table and they are studying the new rules they've gotten? It's going to be difficult. I don't see it. He should have done this ages ago. I mean, sometimes the president can be stubborn. Sometimes he can be stubborn. Dr. Bawumia said what? I'm going to take how many ministers?
50. He's looking at 50.
50. If for nothing at all, won't the president try and help Dr. Bawumia with some of the things he said? He stuck to 86. Wouldn't it have been a good example of where the country is by saying, okay, it's my last time I'm doing a reshuffle, let me even reduce it by 5.
That was very expected of Ghanaians that, at least you would have listened to that.
That is
from 126 to 86 and still maintaining that.
That is why I'm saying is that the people are part of governance. When you're in government, you cannot indicate or feel that you are the only one with sole power. No. You are there to serve the people. And in serving the people, you need to listen to the people. But unfortunately, party comes first.
We're going to be looking at the numbers of ministers and his decision to maintain the 86 and what is going to do in terms of elections, the upcoming elections. But let me also introduce Dennis Apialadi Akuffo. He's joined us here on the show this morning, the National Communications Team member for the NPP. Dennis, good morning. How are you?
Thank you very much, my brother, and yourself.
I'm good. Thanks for the time this morning. I'm going to come to you quickly, but Meto, your party said that, no, we need to speak about it yesterday. You organized a presser and you spoke about the fact that this is just nothing as far as you're concerned.
Yeah, KMG, thank you very much. Once again, a very good morning to your cherished viewers. I think that, you see, earlier in the life of the government of Nana Addo Dankwa Akuffo Addo and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Ghanaians from all walks of life, journalists, professionals, teachers, nurses, trotro drivers, taxi drivers, everybody in Ghana, and even the international bodies were calling for a reshuffle when we realized that things weren't going well. In fact, the NPP, prior to the 2016 elections, were trumpeting everywhere that they have the men. They proved to Ghanaians that it was area boys that they actually had. Because when things were not going well, when Ghanaians were calling for a reshuffle, the leader of the party, Nana Addo Dankwa Akuffo Addo, His Excellency, and the current flag bearer of the NPP, Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, they did not do any reshuffle. They stuck to the same ministers for 7 years in power. That's their 8th year. And now they tend to do what? A reshuffle to bring in injury ministers to curb what situation? I think that what the people of Ghana really need at this time is nothing but a complete overhaul. A complete overhaul of the government of Nana Addo Dankwa Akuffo Addo and Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Because their governments have exhibited gross incompetence. They've messed up the economy. And they've messed up the economy so much that we have what? Hardship in the system. The ordinary Ghanaian and even the middle class Ghanaians are suffering to make ends meet. Look at the price of a Lonka Gari in 2016. It was 5 Ghana cedis. In 2024, when you go to Malata, you go to Makola, you go to Ashama Market, you go to Nima Market, you get a Lonka of Gari for 30 Ghana cedis. Sometimes, depending on where you're buying it from, you even get it more. Look at the price of sachet water, what the ordinary Ghanaian can afford. Not talk about the bottled water. The price of sachet water in 2016 was 1 cedi 50 pesos, somewhere 1 Ghana cedi, the sachet. Today, a sachet of sachet water It's 12 Ghana cedis, 11 Ghana cedi, 13 Ghana cedi, depending on the brand that you're buying.
But they've justified that with some external factors that contributed to this. We still don't think that it makes
So if you say you have the men,
because from
over the period, the results of your 7 years in government,
things happened according to them,
yeah,
which have all become factors to what we.
So the results of your 7 years in power, we are looking at the results. Every government that comes into power gets economic shocks. At the time of the NDC, what economic shock was more worse than a failing energy sector? And that wasn't our problem. In 1984, it happened. In 1987, it happened. In 1997, it happened. In 2007, it happened. But under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, he took the bull by the horn. He took responsibility for the crisis and told Ghanaians in the face that Ghanaians, I'm going to solve the energy crisis. And indeed, he solved it. Today, look at car power, look at Ameri, look at Asogli, look at the Atuabo gas. And he solved it. So if you talk about external shocks or economic shocks that affected the economy, and when they are talking about economic shocks, they look at things like COVID. COVID brought to Ghanaians 30 billion Ghana cedis. 30 billion Ghana cedis. And the 30 billion Ghana cedi, when you look at the tenor of John Dramani Mahama, the amount of total money that he borrowed, is almost the same amount. But you could see what His Excellency John Dramani Mahama did with that amount of money. And this MPP, incompetent, clueless MPP government, led by Nana Danko Akuffo Addo and the chairman of the economic management team, Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, spent this 30 billion cedis without even building a single hospital. What can they account for, if not for the fact that there was a leak from one of their vice chairmen in the northern region, who came to say that her own share of the COVID money and how they shared it among their party chairmen, and they shared it among their party communicators, and they shared COVID-19 money without thinking about the people of Ghana. So you see, what Ghanaians need at this particular time is not a reshuffle. What Ghanaians need at this particular time is a total overhaul of their government. And their government has failed Ghanaians. They've meted out economic hardship on the people of Ghana.
But there's a reshuffle, another way of doing the overhauling.
The reshuffle,
you want the president to leave office himself?
I'll come there. At this injury time, what would the reshuffle do? Look at the high
level. The overhauling you're making
look at the high level,
is for the president to leave the office?
Look at the high level. Yes, the overhaul we need in Ghana today is for Ghanaians to vote out the government of the NPP. It's for Ghanaians to vote out Nana Danko Akuffo Addo and the current flag bearer, who was part and, in fact, played an instrumental role in the mess that we have today. Ghanaians to vote them out. We need a total overhaul. Because, see, look at the high rates of unemployment, youth unemployment. When they were living in 2016, look at the rate of youth unemployment. Now today, look at the youth unemployment. We have youth unemployment that is skyrocketing over 15%. That is why today, when you go to Terminal 3, Akotoka International Airport, you find out that doctors are leaving the country. You find teachers leaving the country. You find a lot of energetic young men and women who can contribute their quota to the development of this country, leaving this country and going to do menial jobs in Europe. Just because the government of the NPP, Nana Danko Akuffo Addo and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, have failed this country. Now see, what shall it profit you to do this reshuffle? While you still keep increasing taxes on Ghanaians. The taxes are draining the blood of Ghanaians. Utility tariffs keep on skyrocketing. Fuel prices keeps on skyrocketing. And then you do an injury time reshuffle. What Ghanaians really need at this time is a total overhaul. See, look at La General. I'm in Greater Accra. I'm from Lejokuku, that's Teshi. Look at La General. Look at the La General hospital that was demolished. What the people of Ghana need at this time is for the government to come and tell us in the face and apologize to us for failing us. Apologize to us for failing majority of Ghanaians. Not this musical chairs reshuffle. Not this musical chairs reshuffle. You know the amount of people who lose their lives because they need to travel long distances within the Ladadekotopom municipality and its environs to access healthcare. Youth who were entrepreneurs, if you cannot create jobs for the youth, who were entrepreneurs and they have started their own business, where they used to go and showcase what they are doing at the La Trade Fair. You've demolished La Trade Fair. If you could not even build KMJ, why didn't you leave it there? If you could not even build, why didn't you leave it there? Go to look at the motorway. Look at the Adenta Dodowa Road. Look at the Kasua Road. Street lights are not working. Manholes on the road. Come to my political constituency, Lejokuku. If not for the fact that the youth of Lejokuku demonstrated on the 30th of May, 2023, most of our roads from the Ajoma roundabout to the first junction was left like that. And drivers were suffering. If not for the fact that the youth demonstrated on the 30th of May, from Ajoma roundabout to Lekma Hospital was in a very terrible state. And today some people come and they are claiming that they went to lobby for the construction of the road. Go to Shaman, they are demonstrating about roads. Go to Kokatamaso, they are demonstrating about roads. Go to Kumasi, go to the northern region, go to central region. What the people of Ghana need at this time is for you to come and tell us that, see, we've heard your plight. And upon hearing your plight, we think that we are coming to solve some of these things. We are putting these monies here for the construction of this road. We are putting these monies here for the reconstruction of the La General, for the reconstruction of the La Trade Fair, etc. You had the president and Nana Akuffo Addo and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia had a golden opportunity to tell Ghanaians that, in fact, this time around, they are not just giving fake promises that they will not be able to materialize. This time around, the promises they are giving are promises that they can actually materialize. IMF told us that we need to run a lean government. Civil society organizations, the media. You tell Ghanaians to tighten their belts whilst you loosen your belt and you are eating luxuriously. You are enjoying luxuriously. But you tell Ghanaians to tighten our belts. They had a golden opportunity because Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, in an attempt to copy...
Wrap it up for me.
In an attempt to copy some of the policies of John Dramani Mahama, told Ghanaians that he was going to run a government with 50 ministers. And if IMF is telling you that we need to run a lean government, and you appreciate the fact that we are in an economic mess, which was caused by yourself because of excessive borrowing and incompetence, why didn't they reduce the number of ministers?
Okay.
What shall it profit us to put old wines into new shapes of bottles? The taste is the same, the value is the same. The NPP governments are unrepentant liars, they are incompetent, they are clueless about the administration of this country, and Ghanaians should vote them out.
Okay.
We don't need this musical chairs reshuffle.
Very well. Dennis.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah. Thank you very much. First of all, I want to send my biggest regards to Uncle Kwame and then my brother Meto here. The conversation on reshuffle is more or less a constitutional matter first before it becomes any other issue. If you look at Article 58 of Ghana's Constitution, it rests the executive power into that of the president and the president alone. And indeed, the Constitution goes on to say that for persons who would act in the government, they act at the behest of the president. For Meto, I mean, he has a script to follow. So definitely...
A script from where?
You would allow him follow his script. So that's why when you tell him to speak to the issue of reshuffle, he doubles around the political rhetorics. But that is not the problem here. I like to... I was listening to Uncle Kwame very well. I mean, he spoke to the issues like you would expect a senior or a detailed conversation from a senior political figure in our country. I have some level of difference where I differ from Uncle Kwame's point. He mentioned that he believes this is purely political, and for that matter, the president should have done it quite earlier. I think that is the more reason why we've got to look at this very carefully. The fact that Uncle Kwame and some people believe that the president is a political animal who dances to the political melody of the time. That tells you that for him not to have hastily done a reshuffle when the political atmosphere really required it, that tells you that is some level of, some sense of nationalism, or there is some level of value behind it. Because I shudder to understand that if someone says that it is purely political and still does it around this time, when party people sort of had requested it about 2 years ago, Uncle Kwame, you would bear me out that at this point, the political capitalism of this action is not that much. So why don't we take a second look at it from the perspective of value? Now, I also differ when someone tells me that the timeline is too short to do anything or have an impact. That is not true. The data does not speak to that. The data shows us that a government has 4 years. 1 year out of the 4 years is 25%. I am convinced that for any serious minister who wants to do something, he has now to January 7th to do it, and that minister can do something.
Use the 10 months to do what? 4 years. Those were there in 4 years.
We'll come to the issue of what 4 years couldn't do. In fact, we gave John Mahama 4 years to do something that he could not do. He wants 4 years to do something he could not do in 8 years. So let's not even go there. That logic is flawed in its entirety. The point is that
it's not about John Mahama, it's about the NPP.
Definitely. No problem.
So if an NPP is there for 4 years and couldn't achieve what the president or what Ghanaians wanted him to achieve, and somebody is coming in 10 months to achieve it, we have every cause to worry.
Okay, so
it's not NPP.
So that logic can be brought into question. And when someone asks you, if he had done it 2 years ago, is it still equal to the 4 years? No. Is it still equal to the 8 years? No. So the conversation, as much as you want to put it, is a little effort to build Ghana, whichever time you are called upon. So if you are called on in 10 months or 11 months to the government closure, and you have something you want to contribute to this government, I am sure that you can contribute it. As much as we want to talk about this, the president at Article 78 is given the power by the law on how he revokes appointment. And we've seen government in this country done 10 months reshuffle, 1 year reshuffle, 2 years reshuffle. We've seen ministers of state implement policies when their government is less than 1 year. And the Honorable Matthew Poku Prempeh implemented the biggest flagship policy of this country in less than a year of the government. What am I trying to tell you? I'm trying to tell you that if we look beyond the political rhetorics of this and that, and this government did this, and we are supposed to analyze it critically for the benefit of our viewers, who we have to place some level of respect onto, then you realize that it is not about the political yo-yo. It is about the value that the president attaches to the work he's doing. And I believe that 10 months for any minister who really wants to work on can actually do something. Now you hear Metal and his likes have been given a script that does not conform to even the data. He mentions that unemployment is 14. I think that we have a responsibility around this table. Our responsibility is to put some respect on the people who watch us from our homes. Because you see, we don't sit here because we are the wisest, so that we can throw data around and lie to that effect. The unemployment rate, as we speak, is for youth unemployment, is not 14. I don't know where he gets his figure from. It is still between the region of 7 to 8%. In fact, this government has never done the worst of John Dramani Mahama that he intends to eulogize here. In 2015, youth unemployment was 14%. So I am of the strongest conviction that when we come here, we've got to put some respect on our viewers. And then he mentions that his government, the SWA government that was rejected by the good people of Ghana, had shocks. We've got to do some reading. First of all, since 1930 or since the Second World War, there's not been any level of global shocks that can be compared to what was brought upon us by the pandemic. You can do all the politics, you can remove whatever you want to do, you can say all that you want to do, you can continue the scripting, the yo-yo, the poo-pooing, but at the end of the day, the data and the record shows that this country has gone under the worst global shocks has ever seen, ever since.
So the difference is a global shock,
the difference,
an internal shock.
The
is
difference,
that what you mean? You mentioned the energy sector that had issues that was solved.
Whatever issues the energy sector had.
Is it the difference?
Whatever energy issues the economy had, you cannot bring it here because you'll be comparing mangoes to oranges.
That's what I'm asking. That the difference is the global shock and internal shock.
Yes.
That's what you want to say.
Yes. So what we are trying to tell you is that if you look at the kind of impact that comes from a pandemic, a lot of people, I'm sure, belittle the impact of a pandemic. But when we tell you a pandemic has had an impact that has never been seen up as you compare to the Second World War, that is some serious issues we are dealing with. Because Ghana is not an island. We deal and we work in a global economy, which is intertwined. So what happens in the US as much as affects Ghana. And you can't tell me that you are oblivious of the fact that this is the worst we've seen the whole world go under since World War II. I am sure that these ministers will do well. And I'm telling you the most important reason why I am sure. The economy is in a recovery mode. And that you admit to, that the IMF admits, that every world-meaning Ghanaian and then a neutral and objective Ghanaian knows that we are not at the point we were in 2021 and 2022. What does that mean? What that means is that we've started a recovery that will take us to pre-pandemic times. And the recovery is clear when you have an inflation rate dropping from 54% down to a 22-23%. What that does is that it gives confidence to people. It gives confidence. And I believe that the government is following a roadmap. We are following a roadmap. The roadmap to recovery is what we are following. What the ministers who have been employed now at the behest of the president in exercise of Article 58 ought to do, follow the blueprint that the government has put in place to ensure our economic recovery.
They're also going to work through the rippling effect of the global pandemic you spoke about. They're also going to be doing so with the IMF conditions that we need to go through to ensure that we're able to turn things around. You think that could make a difference?
A lot of difference. You see, the difference between the IMF we are in now and the IMF we went under the reckless management of the NDC is that I am not a proud person of the IMF. I'm not a proud person of our current state of the economy.
Your party was not proud of it before,
Nobody.
Until they got to a point in time where
nobody.
they had to go for it. That was one of their messages.
Good. So I'm coming.
We're not going to the IMF.
Good. It tells you
but
that...
we got there now.
I'm coming. So it tells you that for no matter how much you want to play about it, we are not at the point we want to be. And that every woman in Ghana accepts that we've been in difficult times. But when you've been in a situation, if you have an insurance and you are bedridden and sick, and it is the only option you have, that is why insurance is there. Insurance is not there to be used when you are well, strong, and able-bodied.
Your party should have known that before they criticized
the party can never know about a pandemic, my brother. I think that
you didn't know that there could be an insurance, that if you're on life support, you could use it. When you were championing the cause of we're not going to the IMF.
Are you aware of the date you get sick? Are you aware? You are not. You are not aware of the day you get sick. Neither is any one of us here. That is why for the accounts and many of our traditional settings, even when someone takes an oath of service, the person eliminates or exempts in bad times or something.
That was why the finance minister at the time should have been very circumspect
about knowing
the IMF is this.
I asked you a question too. I asked you, are you aware of when you get sick?
That's what I'm saying, that you could have projected
sickness,
anybody
pandemic.
It's happened.
Project into a pandemic. Now. What I'm trying to draw your attention to is that we were driven to IMF without any global implication, without anything being from a natural disaster. But we went there. But we've gone there at the point when we truly have been affected by something that took lives of over 5 million people worldwide. I think that most often than not, we trivialize the impact of the global shocks we find ourselves in, such that in places where economies are stronger, went into even a downtime than we have gone into. I am not defending our flaws. Even the flag bearer, in his speech, accepted graciously that we have been in challenges. But these challenges can be likened to times and period when you have a serious health catastrophe as an individual. And nobody can tell me that you can't predict when you will die or when you get an accident. You can't. So what happens is that now we are evaluating the Nana Addo Dankwa Akuffo Addo's government that has been plagued by a pandemic, never seen before since 1930, as against a John Dramani Mahama's government that saw it all good and rosy. That is what we are doing. And I am happy to have that on the table. I am happy. Do you know why? Because even that, they had 2015 record of unemployment of 14%. And you want to even have a conversation on that. You want to have a conversation on that. I have said this, that none of us can be proud of our current situation. But every one of us can be proud of our recovery. That we've moved within the shortest possible time, an inflation of 54% to an inflation of 22-23%. Nobody can tell me that the indications by the IMF and the World Bank that Ghana is doing one of the fastest recovery around the world is a lie. So I am sure that these ministers who are committed to the agenda and the vision of the president can within 10 months have an impact. Because I have seen ministers of state implement policies such as free senior high school education in less than a year of coming into power by this government. What that means is that if you are committed, if you have a blueprint and you commit to it, you can succeed. And that is what I expect of these people. And as to the political expediencies around it, what did you expect from the minority? I'm not sure anyone expected the minority to say that the government has done well. I mean, nobody expected it. Even if it had happened 2 years ago, we wouldn't have had Metal come here to tell us that it's a good thing. We would definitely wouldn't have had that. But I am enjoying the conversation from the side of Uncle Kwame, where he gets into the details and the issues and critically analyzes it. Because you see, that is what we are here for. We are here not because we are the smartest, but because it's an opportunity to also engage our viewers at home and educate where necessary. I believe that Uncle Kwame, the president has demonstrated that we could look at the value of what he's bringing on board. We could look at what he's bringing on board, because if left to political expediency alone, we've had well-meaning party people call on the president to do reshuffle as far back as 2022, 2023. But he did not, because there was a clear-cut plan for recovery, and that recovery is on. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to get some
Recovery
messages.
is on? Recovery is on?
Yes, recovery is on.
Is that what-
Please help me get some of the messages that we have.
Is that what we're saying? If it weren't for us going to the IMF to borrow money, would we be able to sustain ourselves? And KMJ, when it was the World Bank report or the IMF report that came out with regards to COVID, I think it was IMF. What did they say? They used a particular word in that report. They said COVID had done what? And the Ukraine war had exacerbated Ghana's problems. Meaning there was a situation there that we didn't look at. And then the COVID and Ukraine war came to even make it worse. Were we not here when the World Bank representative here warned Ghana with regards to the kind of loans we were taking? COVID and Ukraine war, did it have to do with the loans that we took? When we were taking the loans to cover a naked city, we were taking loans to cover a naked city. Did we question? Did we stop? Did we say, let's hold on? We threw out the Fiscal Responsibility Act because we said it was an emergency. And what happened? What happened? The MPP came in with IMF. When they came, there was IMF. Did they not extend it to 2019? Did that not tell you something? And even where COVID is concerned, did the World Bank not give us money? Did we not get nearly $1 billion to cover COVID? And let's interrogate this COVID thing that we talk about. Tell me, how many parts of Ghana were affected by COVID? Tell me, how many regions were shut down? Tell me, over what duration were they shut down? Tell me, was there not a company who was in charge of making sure that Ghanaians were inoculated and they had all the necessary documentation? How much did that company make and how much did government make? And you're trying to tell me what? COVID. I must agree. They handled COVID in terms of the entrance, people coming in. That one they handled well. No two ways about it. They handled well. So, if my brother tells me that there's recovery, KMG, there's also debt. The debt we're not talking about. The debt that has been pushed to 2040, 17 years from now. We are going to continuously pay, which will have an effect on our economy. Look, the MPP came in with some good projects. Not two ways about it. I won't fault them for that. It is the execution of those projects where the problem is. So let's take one district, one factory. from the word go, when the president mentioned one district, one factory, some of us said, look at those areas of the economy where there's a high return in terms of money coming back, and block capital flight of some of these products. So, what are some of these products? Sugar. How much we spend importing sugar? Look at that. And let's start doing something in Ghana where sugar is concerned. We would stem the capital flight. Gold. Huge return with gold. We have a refinery here. We haven't been able to secure the right certification for the gold refinery here. What has happened? Nothing. It is the foreigners who are taking the gold out. Galamsey. Galamsey is a huge cash cow. Have we been able to streamline it? What have we done about it? Rice. Huge capital flight. What did we do about it? Cooking oil. Huge capital flight because we opened up for others to come in who were producing at a very cheap rate in their countries to bring their goods in to compete with us. So there's so many dynamics, so many logistics that we took our eye off the ball that has come to bite us. And so you might talk recovery, but talk debt also. What is the debt of the country today? It's about 600 billion, isn't it? How are we going to pay this on and off in the next 10 to 40 years? How are we going to do it?
Let me read some messages.
So what's the recovery? That's the recovery we're talking about. What is the recovery we're talking about? Stop throwing dust into our eyes and let them tell the truth. You see, the moment you don't tell the truth, it comes to bite you down the road. Tell us the real state of the economy. Don't keep telling us we've turned the corner. Because in the people's pocket, the corner isn't turned. And that is where the economy is. The people's pocket. He can't afford 3 square meals a day. He can't afford to take his child to the hospital. He can't afford to buy petrol in his car, so he's parked his car. That is where the economy is. Not these highfalutin things that we say, turn the corner to. What corner? If the corner isn't turned in my pocket, how am I surviving in the country? Please.
So let me read some of the messages from some prominent people as of yesterday when the president announced the reshuffle. So Senya Hosi actually says that I have taken note of the recent ministerial changes and wish to express my gratitude to Honorable Ken Ofori-Atta and Honorable Ajman Menu for their cooperation during our DDEP engagement and the development of Ghana's Infectious Diseases Center. Thanks for your service on these. I don't know how... whether it's a goodbye note to them or it's just on the other side. But Honorable Samuel Kujutua Blanco says, a belated reshuffle after the ship has sunk and after the horses have bolted. Obviously, nothing will change in the next 9 months. As for Ken Ofori-Atta, at the right time, he will answer for the $58 million on illegal withdrawal of Akuffo Addo's scandalous $450 million cathedral, the $100 million dubious SML contract, and all the other atrocities. The day of reckoning is coming. And Kadman Atome also comes in and says, just how can any economy withstand such massive decisions of public resources into private hands or non-productive uses? Big question mark over there. And that's on Twitter or X, if you like. Can I get the next one if we have... Ben Success comes and says that Ken Ofori-Atta is no more the financial minister. I would have been impressed if this decision was taken years ago. For now, they just want to convince Ghanaians so they can remain in power. We are wiser now. Anyway, can I have another one if we do? This one says from Dr. Manebuama says, Ken Ofori-Atta joins Baumia at the Flagstaff House physically to mismanage the Ministry of Finance from the presidency. Vote John Dramani Mahama for well-paying jobs through the 24-hour economy initiative. All right, so that's also from Dr. Manebuama. Felix also says that. So Ken Ofori-Atta is gone, but not really gone. I see. All right, so what lawyer was talking about earlier this morning. Governor says Mohammed Amin Adam is the new finance minister. He is once served as close ally and deputy to Ken Ofori-Atta, serves as on Bank of Ghana board and supervised the bank's 60 billion Ghana cedis lost, and third, supported the 77 billion printed by the central bank to Akuffo Addo. Symbol, different covers. The second coming of JM says that Akuffo Addo has made his mind to use all the textbook theories in economics. Appointing Amin Adams, the deputy to Ken Ofori-Atta, is same as replacing Akuffo Addo with Bawumia. Do you remember the invincible hand in economics? The gods are wise. Mr. Ray says President Akuffo Addo's futile reshuffling cannot undo the massive setback caused by incompetence, corruption, mismanagement, and all the other attendant vices of this government. The ship is wrecked and nothing can be salvaged in 8 months with this failed straw-grasping move, Mr. Ray says. So we have another one we can take a look at. Rex Obama says a 3-year Accra messes up, turns to a minister of state at the office of the president. Ken Ofori-Atta messes up, miraculously turns to a senior advisor at the office of the president. Can we just apply common sense when it comes to Ghana? Very well. So this is an NDC MPP thing, right? Mr. Ray comes back and says that, okay, I think I've read this already. We've done this already. We don't have any other one. Now, Israel, Edem Komla says that Ken Ofori-Atta is gone, but he is not gone. Read it again. I just did. Can I get the next one? Ben Bio says that President Akuffo Addo has missed another golden opportunity to cut down his bloated government and reduce spending, a leader with blurred vision. Okay. All right. So these were messages that came on X. As and when the president released the new ministers of states. And so one that caught my eye over there, I think it has to do with the NPP and NDC doing the same thing. Now, I want you to respond to that. He mentioned, you saw that he mentioned that during your time, Ankara was moved from one place to the other when he was not performing or when he was underperforming, if you like. The same thing is happening with what we're saying with Ken Ofori-Atta. Is this a game the NDC and the NPP play?
It's not a game played by the NPP and the NDC. And in fact, during our time, when President Mahama did a reshuffle, in the words of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, that he posted on his Twitter handle on the 20th of January 2016, the reshuffle that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama did. Listen to what Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia said. Reshuffles are normal with all governments. However, with the record of the current government and the current state of the Ghanaian economy, with its attendant hardship, the people of Ghana desire a reshuffling. Change among others: 1, the hardship that afflicts our people; 2, the unprecedented joblessness affecting the Ghanaian youth; 3, the astronomical increases in taxes, utility prices, and fuel; 4, the cancellation of teacher and nursing training allowances; 5, the decline of agriculture and manufacturing; 6, the unprecedented corruption under his government, and he goes on, and says that the ongoing reshuffle appears to be one to do with winning an election rather than one aimed at addressing the challenges faced by Ghanaians. So, and it goes on. This was the words of Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, the leader and the flag bearer of the NPP today, on the 20th of January 2016, when His Excellency John Dramani Mahama did a reshuffle. Kama, indeed, is a bitch. You see, his wife. In fact, if I had seen this earlier, I wouldn't have even made any submission. I would have just read what Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia posted on his Twitter handle on the 20th of January 2016, and it will suffice my comments about this reshuffle. We keep saying, just like people, it is not about NDC, it's not about NPP. And my brother Dennis here, I think that lacks some research skills, and he needs to research more before he comes on set. When you talk about unemployment rate, and you can check, your producers can check. Unemployment rate in Ghana, as it stands now, from Ghana Statistical Service is 14%. Ghana Statistical Service and other employment agencies and labor issues say that the employment rate increased by 3.92%. And averagely from 2010 till now has increased about 5.70%. It increased in 2022 by 3.87%. So you cannot say it's increased by that margin by 3.92% and say that that is the current unemployment rate that is spans between 3.something to 7%. Clearly, he's lost. And when we are doing national arguments, you need to research well before you come and sit on national television. Again, I would have wished that my brother from the NPP, speaking on behalf of their government, would tell me that, see, the reshuffle that we are seeing for the next 10 months, when you take a ministry like finance, the finance minister coming, these are his expertise, and this is why he's been brought on board. He's come to review our taxes. He's come to take off some of the taxes. When you look at the health sector, the way Ghanaians are complaining about the fact that we don't have health facilities in certain parts of Ghana. We've demolished La General Hospital, the Greater Accra Regional Hospital. That's a rich hospital, phase 2 project that has been left and abandoned. This health minister within this 10 months is come to solve this kind of problem because clearly we know the challenges we have in the health sector. When you look at road and highways, the changes that have been brought over there, I expected him, talking on behalf of government, to use this opportunity on a national television like Joy Prime, which is listened worldwide, to tell us that, see, the roads minister that is coming, the reason for this reshuffle, we've heard the plight of Ghanaians. And most of the potholes and the deployable roads in most of the constituencies and in several parts of Ghana, we are coming to fix it. Ghanaians are complaining everywhere. I don't think it's only in Lejokuku or in Greater Accra, or the people complaining and demonstrating in Kumasi or other central region. It's everywhere. So he's missed a golden opportunity as a communicator of the party in power to tell us what exactly the significance of this reshuffle is going to be. He claims he doesn't want to do politics with it. And yet he delves deep into the political arena. Talking about bad roads, is it politics? It's a fact on the matter. Talking about youth unemployment, is it politics? It's the fact on the ground. Talking about the fact that Ghanaians are living in economic hardships, that Ghanaians are now playing formation. Some people eat 001. They don't eat in the morning, they don't eat in the afternoon, and they eat only in the evening. Is it politics? That is the fact on the ground. So KMD, when we come and sit here, it's not about NDC, MPP. If John Dramani Mahama did a reshuffle in 2016, and the leader and the flag bearer of the MPP today could use his words on him, and he had also come out with his bold solution statements, and he said that he was going to reduce the number of ministers to about 50 ministers. After John Dramani Mahama said 60, and you have a golden opportunity to prove to Ghanaians that you really mean business. You are thinking about the well-being of Ghanaians. You are thinking about the cutting down the size of your fat.
But that was Dr. Baumia's vision, not the president's vision.
Now he's a leader.
No, but Dr. Baumia said that he wants to reduce it to 50.
He wants to reduce it to 50.
The sitting president didn't say that he wants to reduce it anyway.
Okay, if your
if Baumia makes a decision for himself, it shouldn't affect the president in any way.
Making for himself. The economy is actually run by Baumia.
Yeah, that is when he is voted into office.
Nanado runs on the intelligence.
Nanado does not.
Nanado told us. He told us that he runs. The reason why he brought Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to become the vice president is because the man is an economic whiz-kid. The man, when it comes to economy, when it comes to this whole world intelligence, is in the head of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Yeah, but he has not mentioned that he wants to reduce.
He brought him to come and complement the effort. And in fact, he made him the head of the economic management team. So you can see the level of trust.
So it means that if Dr. Bawumia says that he wants to reduce the ministers to 50, the president should have taken that opportunity.
So he should have taken the opportunity. They are one. The two of them are one.
Why are they one? That was his vision.
Jack Toronto and his junior brother are one.
No, but that was Baumia's vision.
And he's serving.
It's not the president.
He's serving with Nanado. Bawumia is serving with Nanado. You can't take the two of them.
That's what I'm saying, that the fact that he's serving with him or he's doing something for him as a vice president does not mean that they both share the same vision.
So you mean that?
So if the president says, I'm still going to stick to my 86 or my 126 or whatever it is, that is his vision. That is why he wants to run.
Why are you trying to? Why are Ghanaians, even him, Bawumia, being ungrateful to Nana Addo Akuffo Addo and trying to deviate and tell Ghanaians, rebrand himself as if he was not part of the economic mess? The guy is the vice president. The guy is the man that's Nana Addo Akuffo Addo, who knows that he was bereft of economic ideas, who knows that he did not have the intelligence to manage an economy. Put him, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, brought him from the deputy governor at the Bank of Ghana. Despite the fact that they had people in the NPP who could take that position. He said, this is the man I trust. This is the man I listen to his advices when it comes to issues of running the economy, when it comes to issues of governance. And in fact, I'm leaving all these things to him, and he is the head of my economic management team. When the successes in the economy of the John Dramani Mahama administration in 2017, most of the successes they chalked in the economy, when you look at the growth of their GDP, it was as a result of investments of John Dramani Mahama's government into the oil sector. In fact, when you take the oil contribution to the growth of the GDP out of that particular growth, you see that it amounts to nothing. It was as a result of that. And when they were chalking those successes, they attributed them to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. But today, because they've messed up completely, he wants to rebrand himself. And even in the attempt to rebrand himself, I would have wished that that statement, bold solutions, should have been bold apology to Ghanaians. Because he, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akuffo Addo entrusted the economy of Ghana into, has failed Nana Addo first of all, has failed Ghanaians first of all, and failed Nana Addo Dankwa Akuffo Addo. So it should have been bold apology that we Ghanaians will see that, see, this man has repented. He has repented from his sins of lying. And he's coming as a new person to come and profess something new to Ghanaians. He's coming as a new person to advise Nana Addo Dankwa Akuffo Addo accordingly.
Wrap up for me.
But he's not being able to advise him. Even in an attempt to do reshuffle, they've rather brought people in that they think they can win elections. There's nothing new that's going to come. So I maintain that if you look at the issue of the finance minister, because Ghanaians complain, Ghanaians, and this.
But you didn't want him in the finance ministry. He's taking him out.
To advise to where? He's taking him out to where? He's taking him out to where?
No, but that is
but
not
the
the
one who has
same
been appointed,
position as the finance minister.
The one who has been appointed, we didn't want him as
It's
we didn't want him
finance
to do
minister
anything with finance.
advisory.
We didn't want him to do anything with finance. He should get off government. They should put him. He should go back home, just like FIFA did to Nyantechi. Even when you see people playing Fortuna, he shouldn't even look that direction. He shouldn't even make any commentary about football. That is what Ghanaians were looking for about Kelo Furiata. But you move him from finance ministry and you take him to the presidency, and you say that he's a senior advisor to finance. Whilst the person who has been appointed as the Minister of Finance, substantive, is his boy. He worked closely under him. He was on several boards. In fact, when the Bank of Ghana, just like the message read over there, when they made the loss of 60 billion, when they printed over 77 billion to the government of Ghana, he was the man in charge. And you put him there, you think that you've done something, and they think that Ghanaians are so dumb. They think that Ghanaians will not notice that they are playing with the minds of Ghanaians. These people have not changed, and there's nothing for them to do that will change.
All right.
It's the same thing. Let's kick them out.
Dennis.
Okay.
Yeah, dog.
No, go on.
Okay, Uncle Kwame, I like to engage your subjects or when you bring in the points because I think that it elevates the conversation some sort of. So,
Metro doesn't elevate the conversation.
He said,
Metro doesn't elevate the conversation.
"Oh, I'm giving you an opinion."
MPP and MDC.
Uncle Kwame, you mentioned that the impact of COVID vis-a-vis the money we got, and you even questioned how many parts of the country was closed. So you see, let us put this in context. Let's do some explanation so that people understand when we see a pandemic or a recession. So when a recession comes, the economy shrinks. The country may be very big geographically, but the economy is built around some places. Economy is built around some industry. So you could have 100% economy, but about 80 is driven by, say, playing football. The moment playing football, the player's leg is gone and can't play football again. You have 80% clamped down. So what happened is not a matter of whether we lock down some part of the country. No, it is a shrink in economic activities that affects the GDP, that affects your data in all spheres. And that is what affects the macroeconomic indicators. When your economy shrinks, just like it happened to the whole world, when there was a shrink of about 30% in global economy, you have every aspect of the economy going to be affected because the economy is interconnected. So if your fuel is not coming, or you don't have crude oil coming at a good rate because there is a global crisis in economic trade, it will definitely affect all other aspects of the economy. If you have the city going under severe shocks because of the global pandemic or the global situation where almost all currencies were depreciating, you have the other aspects of the economy being affected. That is one thing I want to place on record. So it does not really matter how many parts we closed. If you close a region like the entire northern region, as against closing just Greater Accra, you may have closed 6 regions and left Greater Accra, that the impact of closing Greater Accra is more than closing 6 regions. These are data.
So that's a determinant on the economic...
the macros. So the data speaks to the impact of a very specific area. And that is very clear.
So closing Greater Accra...
So Uncle Kwame gave an analysis that he questioned how many parts of the country we closed. And he also questioned the impact of COVID vis-a-vis the money we took. The shocks the world went under was not because the monies in the world had vanished somewhere. No. It was because there was a total shrink in economic activity because lives were threatened. And once it happens like that, there is a recession, a global recession. And Uncle Kwame, whether we like it or not, the fact still remains. This is the worst economic recession the world has ever seen since 1930.
Let me just answer you. You come into an economy.
Uncle Kwame is using my time, so Uncle Kwame, you give me back my time.
Wait. You come into an economy which you take from one party who you described as not being able to do a lot for the economy.
Yeah.
What is the one major criteria that has caused Ghana some of these challenges?
Okay, so...
The one major criteria that has caused Ghana these challenges is the fact that we import everything. We import everything. You talked about your fuel not coming in. Do we not have oil in this country? Do we not have a refinery in this country? What have we done about it? If it so happened that we were refining our own oil, even a certain percentage of our own oil for our people, and we had put our refinery back in place, would we feel the shocks that bad? I'm not saying we didn't feel shocks from the pandemic. That's what I'm saying. But when you came in and you realized that majority of the stuff we have in this country is imported, you should have done something about it.
Uncle Kwame, a quick one on that.
You should have done something about it.
A quick one on that.
Because that affected the economy.
Uncle Kwame, a quick one on that. Clearly, I agree with Uncle Kwame that the import-laden situation affects the economy. But Uncle Kwame, you bear me out that before, in 2018, there was a trade surplus, which indicates that, and even in 2019, there was a trade surplus, which indicates that if you compare the things we import or the inflows of money as against the outflows, we were on an ascendancy. What that means is that we all owe a collective responsibility that we may have not done much in terms of turning our raw materials into finished products. But again, that is the reason why there was an industrialization drive by the President of the Republic. But that industrialization drive affected us. Tell me, please, I'm on floor. That industrialization drive was laced with a strategy which I believe that globally is vetted and approved. That it works with the PPP or working with the private sector. And that is what Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia speaks us to and says that during my time as president, there will be a different dimension even to the PPP, where some essential services, innovativeness, thinking outside the box. Because if you go to the places like America, before the rails became what it is in America, it was the private sector that got the rails there. So what Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is saying is that instead of concentrating only on the government in provision of some essential services, we will too work with the private sector to ensure that we are able to even do more with the private sector on essential services. Definitely we can't get all of these done in a matter of 4 years or 8 years. It is a step by step. But how do you see a man thinking into the future? As to the rhetorics, I have told you that it is not really the matter here. Now, he goes on to mention, Meta mentions rules. Nobody will debate you on rules. Not even your mama will debate you on rules when it comes to the MPP's track record as against the NDC on rules. No, it's not even up on the table. From all aspects, the road sector is divided into feeder, urban, and highway. On all aspects, on every single one, on every single one, he cannot in any way provide any data. And I'm sitting here and I'm throwing the challenge to everyone. When you are talking, I don't talk.
Don't just.
Better. When you are talking, I don't talk.
Do you know why? I'm just helping you.
That is discipline.
I'm just helping
you. When
you
are talking, I don't talk. Discipline.
Mention them.
Okay. What I am saying is that I will not even go into the debate of rules. I am throwing the challenge to him or anyone in
mention two.
If anyone
you want the
can pick
viewers,
data, yes.
You want the viewers sending that.
No problem. Bring data.
He's here.
That shows that Metal. Okay, I think
He's
that
here. You should
one of
tell
the
the
key
viewers.
things. One of the key things.
You should mention it. Yeah, you should target it.
One of the key things I
shouldn't
request
speak
from
without
UK
backing the facts.
is that
You should mention it.
I like to be very disciplined on set, especially because of the people watching. We are not better than them.
But don't be telling lies.
You see why Uncle Kwame keeps quiet when I'm talking? When he wants to intervene, he alerts me. The same thing. It's mutual. It's respect.
But don't be telling lies.
Please don't allow him to intervene.
Mention
It's
facts.
very important to me.
Beto, let him finish.
Yes. So I'm saying that I will not even.
So you want the viewers to send
anyone in NDC
where they
should
want,
bring
they
data.
want you to
yes, bring
address,
data
and then
compare MPP's track record of road and compare NDC's track record of road. The data is not even debatable. I can put everything I have on the line.
Okay, let me read some comments.
Let me close up on my submission on the Baumia vision. You asked him some salient questions, and I've seen you ask those questions. Isn't it possible that a father and son will have two different visions? Dr. Mahmoud Baumia did not distance himself from the record of this government. He spent half of his speech accepting the challenges and even crediting where we've done well. But he says that even twins, some way somehow have differences. So if you compare him to Nana Addo Dankwa Akuffo Addo, as much as he's been part of Nana Akuffo Addo's government as the second in command or the vice president, he has some ways he believes he will do it differently. And guess what? If you want to test the credibility of someone saying this, ask him, has he ever been different? Has he ever opined a different view from this government before? Yes, he has. On e-levy, he cited, he said it clear, publicly. He didn't say it only in room.
He said what?
He believes that e-levy should not be implemented.
That was when?
That is him on Joy.
After it was implemented or
no, before, even before and after. The opinion.
And there were reports which were also on social media that in fact, he spoke on Joy FM as well. The Honorable Ponkroma spoke about it and said that he was part of the process. As even John Boyd, who spoke about it, and said was part of the process.
Okay, give me one bite that Honorable Kojo Ponkroma says that.
You didn't see that? You didn't see that it was part of it?
I'm coming. That
you didn't read about the fact that your party member said that he was part of it? He has always been part of it?
The vice president has said it clearly that he's a part of a team he's committed to, the flaws and the good part. But on the e-levy view, he holds a very different view.
That's exactly what I'm also saying. So all those who came out and said that
he was part of
all the process.
He was part of it because he's a team player. As much
so
as
he couldn't have stopped it. That's what you're saying. He didn't believe it. He couldn't have stopped it.
So if you read Article 58 of the Constitution, again,
no, I understand that. I'm saying you were saying that he was part of it, but he didn't like it and he couldn't have stopped it. That's what you're saying.
Perfectly.
Okay.
But please, I was wrapping up when you interjected. Let me wrap up. So I'm saying that, like you and other well-meaning Ghanaians have opinion that even father and son can have differing opinions on the subject. And I have been on boards and committees where I opine differently, but the majority or the clear-cut decision of the leadership says that we are going here. What do? I don't rebel. You play your part to support it. But when you have the opportunity to lead the country, just like Honorable Julius Debra said, the driver's mate and the driver are never the same. You can quote it, you can do everything you want, but they are never the same. And I allow you to talk on the issue of employment. I'll give you just one sector. Immigration, when we took over this country, immigration, total statistics, from start to finish, was 2,600 about. As we speak, before you leave the set, he can check. He has internet, and he's been doing it. He's been checking the messages they are sending him. It stands around 14,000. So when we tell you that we've created jobs in excess of 2.1 million, it is verifiable per the data.
How much percentage is the immigration contributing to that? Because you're looking at in general.
No, so I only cited immigration as an example for you.
And I'm saying how much percentage?
Oh, I mean, definitely I would have to do that.
Okay.
I'm not a working computer.
I'm saying that
the issue at the end of the day,
how much percentage is the immigration bringing? Other sectors, how much contribution are they also bringing in there?
At the end of the day,
because you can't just say you've done immigration and that's.
I didn't say just immigration.
No, I'm saying because.
But then you put me in context well. It helps the conversation.
No, obviously, but I'm just saying that's why I said that. How much percentage has immigration contributed?
Okay,
so because you mentioned immigration, there are other sectors which are also supposed to bring some contributions to it. And holistically, we say, okay, we've been able to give this percentage in terms of employment.
Okay, thank you. Your question is apt. One, I can't give you the percentage of it because I'm not a walking computer.
No, it's fine.
Two, I mentioned immigration because clearly it was an example to tell you that on all aspects, in all angles, our record on employment and job creation is far, far better.
Yeah, that's why my question.
And the data.
You can't just use one sector.
I didn't just use one sector.
And can you mention any other sectors that
education,
massive progress when it comes to employment?
Education. It's so clear that the increase in education or increase when it comes to employment creation in education is huge. I even take you to the private sector, where I come from, and where I am particularly concerned. The stimulation of growth when it comes to employment in the private sector is the cornerstone to every economic development. And that brings me to why Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia's vision is something that we need to look at critically. You wouldn't be shocked that the whole country has discussed it for 2 years, 2 weeks. There's a reason. Because the man took us into the fourth industrial revolution and tells us that the times where government has attempted to solve all problems is gone. You need to think outside the box because truly you can't do that. So when he's given the mandate as president of Ghana, he would engineer a private sector driven economy, driven on the data, driven on science, driven on creativity of the ordinary Ghanaian.
Okay. I'll come to you. I'll come to you. But no, you're going to go beyond. You go beyond.
I'm going beyond that.
We have viewers.
You give all of us a chance to.
No, of course. That's why I want to do some messages. Then I come back to you.
All right.
It's fair.
When he landed.
It's fair. Jot whatever it is down and let our viewers also help because they're also watching. This one says that good morning. Good morning, Rosalind. Please ask the NPP guy. Okay, this was yesterday. Okay, so good morning, KMJ. The government wants to play mind games with Ghanaians. The reshuffle isn't going to change anything. We're voting NDC coming 7 December. I'm part that from Saman Kese. This one says, hi, good morning, KMJ. These Bawilaya supporters are not different from Agada's church members. Okay, let me go here. This one says that, good morning, KMJ. NPP communicators seem to have gone for a special orientation on how to defend lies. NPP never again. Let me go here and make your messages very short so we can move on to others. Good morning, KMJ and your able panelists. Love your African wear. Thank you so much. Saddam put this together for me, by the way. Please ask Justice what happened to the $10 million for investigating the cocoa roads and what happened to the outcome of the investigations. KMJ, do you know that fixing a port or manholes was part of the achievement on roads? Please ask him about the new 350 new SHS. The person collapsing private businesses is now saying what UK1 at BACO sent in that one. Let me go to this. This one says, good morning. Okay, start from the top. Good morning, my brother. Please, this last-minute substitution by Akuffo Addo clearly shows that NPP as a team lost the match ahead of time. Coming general elections in 2024, it's a down deal for NDC. Cliche Jacob from Fuega Catholic Hospital in Volta region. Let me go to the next one. Good morning, KMJ. Hope you're doing well. I'm well. Thanks for asking. Youth in afforestation has not been paid for a year and 8 months now, making it 20 months, and they are not doing anything about it. Please say some for us and ask them why. I'm a Freewa BA in Achimota in the Eastern region. Send me some details on our WhatsApp platforms that we can reach you so we can investigate it more. This one over here says, good morning, KMJ. Please tell the NPP communicator should stop lying to the people of Ghana. What is he talking about in the education sector? The vice president does not have anything to offer. Benjamin from Akachi sent in that one. Let me go to this one over here. Says, good morning. The vice president deceived the driver, the president with his WAP logic, and is now blaming the driver. Okay. Good morning to you all, KMJ, and the MPP man is talking the truth. Roads there, we are the best. Okay, that's what you mean to say. Good morning, KMJ. Ask the NPP guy, since when did he know government can't do all? Salmon in Tamale sent in that one. They'll be answering some of the questions you're asking. So yeah, when we get there. Hi, bro. The NPP guy, how old is he? Stop. He's disturbing our ears. His age really does not matter, I think. I mean, it's about what you're saying. So analyze what you're saying instead of his age. Good morning, KMJ. This NPP, they are just making us angry anytime you hear them speak. Also, good morning to Uncle Kwame Jantua. This Jack Toronto guy saying, okay. Oh,
Wow.
this is a note.
Jesus.
How do I go about this?
Read it.
Good morning. Good morning, KMJ. Reshuffle. So I'll read it, and maybe at the point I'll just cut off because there are others. Good morning, KMJ. Reshuffle is not just a political tool, but a human resources management tool to meet expected results. What vision is Akuffo Addo pursuing? What does he hope to achieve? Akuffo Addo has abandoned the original vision of moving the economy from taxation to manufacturing. Stealing and corruption has not allowed them to use the money to achieve this. They hide behind COVID-19 to steal monies meant for development and the use of COVID-19 as a cover-up and excuse. Just ask them to tell you how they spent the money and you simply get angry. This is a truly clueless bunch of people. While as a country, we're pursuing decentralization and digitization, yet this same government has gone about creating new regions and zones which were completely needless. While free SHS students are asking for tables and chairs and desktop computers, the Vice President and Education Minister is promising them free laptops. Well, the students carry laptops in their hands and stand in the classrooms. The government lacks simple economic and managerial skills. What are they pursuing now? What will the new ministers be pursuing? Too little, too late. Okay. Add your name to it next time when you do so. The NDC guy is only shouting on set. Tell him to go on facts, okay? This one here says that Alassane Sase from Zenith Central says, after Akuffo Addo and his cousin Kono Furiata has finished milking the state coffers and the IMF bailout funds, he's now reshuffling his elephant-sized ministers, which Ghanaians called on him to do, and he refused with pride. NPP never again. Okay, so let me go to the next one. Good morning, KMJ. Please, I want to clear my conscience. Ask the NDC guy about the money allocated to build the Ebola hospital, $60 million in Tamale. Metal will give some clarity on that. Good morning, KMJ. If not the next world, John Mahama will never lead this country as a president. Markets, and that's from Maxwell Aburiya in Bolgatanga. It's a few messages in here. We try and see. So make it simple. Hi, thank you for the opportunity to comment on your program this morning. I'm Boadex inside Tema Community 4. So President Akuffo Addo knew he had to do something about his ministers, and he waited till extra time to make substitution. This is just like taking off Andre Ayew in 90 minutes, and there are additional minutes of 5 to play. And yeah, okay, so you didn't add your name to that. Please do well and add your names to it. Okay, so this one, that's a lot. Okay. Good morning, KMJ. I love the submission from Etununu. It's always delightful listening to him. The MPP guy is clueless and just telling lies. The value of the reshuffle is the same. Elfrida from Alonso in Kumase. And this one says, good morning, KMJ. Have you seen the interview of Apon Kruma with ID of GH1? I haven't yet. You didn't say anything about it. Maybe you should. It will give me a bit of clarity on that. Good morning, KMJ. Do you know, as of now, some section of teachers haven't received their laptops yet, and people portrayed as if we have all received the laptops from Roger. Okay, this one says, good morning, Joy News. You're good. The NDC guy lies. Okay, so yes, Joy News. Joy Promise are affiliates, so yeah, it's still the same family. And thanks for sending that. Please ask the NPP guy, is the vice president a mate or spare driver? John from Aflao sent in that one. Let me see if we can have any other. We can do so quickly, and then I'll come back to the studio. The NPP guy says they have the men, but see the disgrace. Reshuffle or not reshuffle is zero. NDC all the way. Achu from Pong Katamansu sent in that one. Okay. This one says, good morning, my finest host KMJ. Please tell the NDC man to tell us their policy alternative that they are providing to Ghanaians and not this usual politicking they always engage in. Ghanaians are wise now. Greetings to the NPP man from Joe Bingi Damango. You mean Dennis? Dennis is communications team member for the NPP. Good morning, KMJ. This NPP, no, be serious. CEO, because of them, we go to school from March to May, then from July to November. I swear, say this year we'll go more year. Okay, so keep the swear words out, please, when you're sending messages to me, okay? Before we get into trouble. Good morning, Mr. Host. Who eats the meat, leaving the bones? Who is dead goat? Who said the youth should cut grass and sell in stones? Whose official 24-hour economic? So did he doing 24-hour building tour. He has taken his pension pay and you are coming back for our monies and doing so again. He should better sit at home and play with his grandchildren. And the one with the blue shirt, which party does he belong to? Are you speaking about lawyer? Lawyer is quiet. He's not the one with the blue shirt.
I'm in the CPP.
He's representing the CPP, but beyond that, he's got so many things that you would love to even know about. So he's not just sitting here. Yeah, he's got some very heavy credentials for that matter. Metal, yes, before you forget what you wanted to say,
KMJ, I spoke about...
let him finish it before he forgets.
Yeah, I wanted to get comment on this issue about the unemployment. I gave a percentage of the current unemployment state in Ghana, and I gave a percentage of 14%. He came back to rebut, saying that it wasn't 14%, and he mentioned between 3.9 to 7%. That's the current unemployment, and that I was telling lies. He comes back to try to correct my statement on the 40%. I thought he was coming to give me fact and figures. He didn't. Now he starts giving nominal figures of people they've employed in immigration sector, people they've employed in education sector. I was talking about percentages. So if you think you got the facts, if you think you do research, if you think you are not telling lies to Ghanaians, and you want to rebut what I'm saying, and you're not doing your usual politicking or learning the trade of lies from your flag bearer, rebut my statement with that, oh, I said 14% and there's not 14%. You mentioned 3.9, and I told you that the 3.9 to whatever you're talking about is the average increase in the unemployment rate in Ghana. But the current unemployment rate is 14%. Now, you talk about the fact that you've employed 2.1 million Ghanaians. KMD, in 2018, somewhere in 2018, the vice president, first of all, the minister of Employment and Labour Relations mentioned the figure during address to Parliament. He said they've employed about 500 million people, nominal figures, not percentage. Later on, they came ahead to somewhere 2022. They were talking about the figures. The vice president himself on Twitter, he mentioned 2.3 million people that have been employed. Now, in his bold solution statement, talking about people they've employed and what he's fed his communicators with, now they're saying 2.1. For a government which keeps changing the number of people they've employed, they are not people that you can trust. He himself said 2.3, now today 2.1. And that is what his baby liars are also communicating and telling Ghanaians. See, Ghanaians are smart enough. The lies they told Ghanaians in 2016, one district, one factory, one village, one dam, one constituency, $1 million per year. By this time, every constituency in Ghana should get about $8 million that can transform their constituencies. But all were lies. And Ghanaians are wide awake. You cannot come and deceive us with those lies again. And we in the NDC will keep on exposing them. You know why about Mia? It's been discussed for almost 2 weeks after the bold solutions. Ghanaians are shocked to the bones about the level of lies that he could look Ghanaians in the face and then tell them. Somebody who is unapologetic about the lies he said before he came to power and could still come and stand in front of Ghanaians. And even at the time of making the speech, was still telling lies. Even at the time that he was in power, was telling lies. I am building, or we are building the Cape Coast Abo. It was a lie. He was in power. And today, in his bold solution speech, he's telling lies.
Okay.
John Dramani Mahama,
that's a wrap up for me.
JM is coming to Ghanaians with hope. JM is telling the Ghanaian youth that your unemployment situation, he's got out of the box solution to be able to solve them. What is out of the box solution? You've heard about the 24-hour economy? If you've traveled to the West, you've traveled to Europe, you've traveled to London, America, you see how the economy runs. People go to work from morning to afternoon, and then they close. People work hourly and all that. That is what John Dramani Mahama is promising the people of Ghana.
MPP said
that when he's voted into power, MPP said what?
It's already happening.
By doing what? That people are doing transaction of mobile money 24 hours. You see, that vice president is a joke. In fact, he's a comedian. Because if people are transacting 24-hour and doing mobile money 24-hour, and you say that you've already started 24-hour economy, it's a joke. That is not what the people of Ghana are looking for. We are looking for real jobs.
Okay.
They tried to create real jobs for the people. They brought NAPCO, they brought Ustart, and they were all fiascos. They've all failed. John Dramani Mahama is promising the youth of Ghana a 24-hour economy that is going to change the lives of people. TUC, civil society organizations, other political members of other political parties, the media, everybody, even Lil Wayne, a comedian. You've seen that video, saying that, sure, John Dramani Mahama on your about 24-hour economy, no, and then the game changer. John Dramani Mahama already in his Building the Ghana tour said he was going to abolish emission taxes. John Dramani Mahama, during his Building the Ghana tour, before the Bold Solution Statement, said that he was going to implement a national development plan. One of the problems we have as a nation is the fact that political parties campaign on their manifesto. There's no clear-cut national development plan. And John Dramani Mahama is saying that, see, we need to stop this intense partisan politics. When he comes to power, he's going to bring in a national development plan.
All right, Mentor.
The constitution as well.
Thank you. Let me move on to lawyer, and then we don't have time.
There's already a national development plan that we put in place.
No, implement.
We put in place. I was part of the team that drafted the energy sector, the 40-year national development plan. It's already there. It's just that our heads of state and our presidents are not committed to it. But let me come back to the subject. Why are we fixated on the number of ministers? This one is saying 50, this one is saying 60. Is that where the issue is? The issue is on the bloated side of the public sector. When the president is traveling, how many people does he go with? Is that not cost?
Yeah.
So you can have 50 ministers, but the added size to it can be more than 100, can be more than 200. That is where the expense is going. So you come and tell us you're having 50 or 60, tell us how you're going to cut down a lean public sector, whereby when you're traveling, you don't travel with everybody.
Yeah.
Number two, Dr. Bayamia talks about PPP, where private sector will be part and parcel of it. I expected Dr. Bayamia to say, I'm prepared to work with the private sector. However, there are certain issues of the private sector we need to take care about. First point of call, interest rates on public sector borrowing. Is what? 38% now for the public sector to borrow from banks. We would make sure that we find a way of bringing that down. This public sector, this PPP thing he's talking about, is the PPP thing he's talking about going to spread through everybody who is a construction, who has a construction company, both MPP and NDC, CPP, or is going to be channeled to particular people in a particular party? Now, he talks about being a mate. He cannot be a mate. President Bamia cannot be a mate to President Akuffo Addo. He's a co-pilot. That is what he is. He's a co-pilot. When you have a pilot in a plane, he has his co-pilot. When the captain is tired of flying, he passes it on to the co-pilot. That is Vice President Baumia's responsibility. So he should stop this mate thing that he's talking about. He should stop it. Now, you respect, and Dennis will tell me, you respect the chairman of your party, don't you? Let me tell you what Freddie Blay said. A former national chairman of the governing New Patriotic Party, Freddie Blay, has described the impending reshuffle of ministers as coming too late. According to him, if President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo had gone ahead to reshuffle his government 2 years ago, when the calls peaked, it would have gone a long way to make significant changes for the country. Your own person is talking about it. Now, you see what the viewers have...
The messages.
What does that tell you? Governance is not only a political party. Governance includes the people. Because in the end, what do? You come back to the people. And you're going to come back to the people. And that is where they will show you that people have power more than governments. Let me end by wishing my sister, Nanaya Jantua, it's her birthday today.
Oh, great. Great.
Wish her a happy birthday.
Great. Well, we spoke about her a couple of days ago when we were having our conversation on phone. Okay, so happy birthday going out to you. They've said some very, very nice things about you, and I think that you deserve to celebrate this day the way, it's planned for you. So we wish you the very best.
Okay.
No. See, it's 8 o'clock.
Oh,
my
how would you let him talk?
But you spoke before they came in. No, we're going to go back again. No.
It wouldn't be fair.
You want to go back to the issues again?
But my question to you is that
you made the point, and he came to
he gave a closing. He gave
lawyer finished with us.
The time you've been dragging him, if you had allowed me, I would have
Next time we'll give him 3 hours.
So the point is
only him is going to speak.
No, okay. The point is
Ghanaians
that
have made their mind.
the point is that to leave your studios.
Ghanaians have made their mind.
One of the key things that we have to understand is that it's not as if we've not seen the joke of John Dramani Mahama before. No, he called the vice president.
Yeah, so you also want to go back and call him a joke.
No, I'm telling him that we've seen. No, hold on. Let me finish up.
All you came to do was comment.
Let me wrap up. So first of all, we've got to understand.
No,
before
wait.
Allow me.
No, let's talk about Valentine. Where were you yesterday?
Kwame, my point still remains that in all the things that we in this country,
you celebrated Valentine yesterday.
My problem is you allow him hijack, headle, shout, talk, and you allow me. Let me finish.
But you had your bite, and I was trying to interject. You said that I should be disciplined. And you're being disciplined right now.
Looks like you don't want to talk about the Valentine.
My point is that
you're being disciplined right now. Adhere to rules.
The attempt by the NDC to change John Dramani Mahama and bring him back to Ghanaians, shape him and tell us that he's going to do A, B, C, as if he's never had the opportunity to be at the helms of affairs of this country. It's a serious catastrophe. Okay. He says that JM is the hope of Ghanaians. But you see, the problem with
no, see, you're not coming to
the problem with the NDC is that when John Mahama was asked if he's the hope.
Yesterday was Valentine's Day, and we had a good time at Big Leads Sports and Games Lounge. Our couples, came through. We had some games. Chami Kwame would like to say a big thank you to you, Timothy Bentum. Rev, my brother, a very, very, very big thank you to you for coming through yesterday as well. We really appreciate your presence over there. But if you missed out on all the things that happened over there yesterday, we're going to show you some of the highlights. But let me say a big thank you to Metu Nunu Jr. Thank you to lawyer.
Do you know that water tariffs have gone up? In December, it was 4.7. It's gone up today to 8.3.
Just this moment?
Yeah.
I even don't have water for the past
you see the beauty of how you allow some have their bites?
That's just a passing point. All right, so Dennis, thanks so much for coming on the show today as well. And check this one out, our Vows Day celebration yesterday. What's trending is coming up. Rosalind Philly's got that conversation, and also we'll be delving into it's a Thursday, we do our relationships conversation. Rosalind has got that conversation covered as well. We've got an artist that is coming through, and so that conversation is also coming up. Some sports update. Nathaniel will be here to do that. Very small here on the show. My name is KMJ. Do stay.